Have you ever had a dream that felt ancient, as if it came from a place far older than your own mind? Or maybe you felt a strange pull towards symbols, myths, or spiritual teachings that you've never studied, but somehow already understand. That's not random. Carl Jung believed we each carry a secret inheritance, not of gold or genes, but of meaning. A psychic treasure buried deep beneath consciousness. He called it the collective unconscious. And it may be the most profound key to unlocking not only our personal healing, but the very soul of humanity. A question for you. Have you ever experienced a dream or inner vision that felt like it didn't belong just to you, but to something ancient or universal? Drop your dream or story in the comments. We'd love to read it. To understand the collective unconscious, we must first understand what it is not. It's not your memories. It's not your trauma or your childhood conditioning. That's your personal unconscious, the layer shaped by your individual life. The collective unconscious runs much deeper. It is the psychic DNA of the human race, an inherited memory bank of universal experiences, emotions, and patterns. It's not created by the individual. It's discovered by the individual. Like the ocean beneath the surface of a single wave, it is vast, timeless, and shared by all of us. When Jung explored dreams, myths, and religious visions across cultures, from Christianity to Hinduism, from Greek tragedy to native lore, he found the same core themes repeating, not because these cultures copied one another, but because they were all drinking from the same inner well. A question for you. Do you ever feel like you're tapping into something larger than yourself, like an invisible force or intelligence guiding your inner world? Let us know in the comments. What does it feel like for you? At the heart of this deep well are what Jung called archetypes, primordial patterns of thought and emotion that shape how we see the world. Archetypes aren't just symbols. They are living psychic forces. They show up in our stories, in our religions, in our behaviors, and in our dreams. The hero who leaves home to face the unknown and return transformed. The great mother who nurtures and sometimes devours. The shadow who holds the parts of us we deny but cannot escape. The wise old man, the trickster, the child, the self. Each one an echo of something ancient within us. You don't learn these archetypes. You are born with them. They are the characters in the script of the human psyche. That's why a child raised in isolation can still dream of monsters or gods. The forms are different, but the underlying patterns are universal. A question for you. Don't think too hard. Respond with the first thing that stimulates your thought. Which archetype has been most active in your life lately? The hero, the shadow, the inner child, or another? Comment below and tell us how it's showing up in your journey. So where do we encounter the collective unconscious? In your dreams, certainly, especially those that feel strange, powerful, or symbolic. But also in sudden emotions that feel bigger than the situation. In art that moves you deeply without explanation. In mythological or religious images that stir something primal. And in moments of profound synchronicity, when life seems to mirror your inner world with uncanny precision. In all these places, you are brushing up against the deep tapestry of human meaning, a field of symbols that speaks to your soul in a language older than words. This is why we resonate with great stories, why certain films or legends feel true, even when we know they are fiction. They activate the same inner forces that shape the ancient temples, the cave paintings, the sacred texts, and the dream worlds of every human being who has ever lived. Here's a question for you. Have you ever experienced synchronicity or symbolic guidance, something that felt like more than coincidence? Share your story in the comments. We're all listening. But this isn't just poetic. Jung saw the collective unconscious as a vital tool for healing and self-discovery. When you learn to recognize archetypes, especially the ones playing out in your own inner life, you begin to reclaim lost parts of yourself. Your shadow no longer has to be feared. It becomes your teacher. Your anima, or animus, vishnasam, the inner opposite, becomes your creative muse. Your relationship with the self becomes a sacred journey, not a struggle for control. This is the path Jung called individuation, the process of becoming whole by integrating the unconscious into consciousness. The collective unconscious is not something to conquer. It's something to collaborate with, to dialogue with, to listen to, because it doesn't just hold your ancient wounds, it holds your divine blueprint for you to ponder and reflect on. What part of yourself are you beginning to reclaim or feel called to explore right now? Write it below and let this be your turning point. Carl Jung once said, "The gods have become diseases." What he meant was that in the modern world, we've lost contact with the mythic layer of reality. The archetypes still move within us, but we no longer recognize them. So they manifest as neuroses, compulsions, and patterns we can't explain. But when we remember the language of the collective unconscious, when we learn to read the symbols that rise from our depths, we no longer feel possessed by life. We feel initiated by it. We awaken to the idea that every challenge, every dream, every strange coincidence might be part of a larger inner story unfolding. A story that was written long before us and is now waiting to be lived through us. Your final question: what story is your soul trying to live out right now, and which archetype is guiding you through it? We'd love to hear. Write your insight in the comments. Let's activate wisdom together. Feel free to revisit any of the sections and re-comment on any given day, as you will be amazed at how each will vary depending on your energies at the time. If this video resonated with you, like and subscribe to Wisdom Activation, your space for deep dives into spirituality, psychology, and awakening. We'd love to hear from you. Which archetype is showing up most in your life right now? Have you had a dream or synchronicity that felt like a message from your soul? Share your insights in the comments below. Let's create a sacred space of shared wisdom, soul growth, and collective support. Join the movement. Activate your inner knowing. Awaken with us at Wisdom Activation, where your journey becomes part of a greater awakening.